Onegaishimasu. Because we will do a beginning exercises and everybody's doing it, or it looks like you're doing it. But it's good to have your body and your, you can give it many names, but your mind or your perception or your feeling or your consciousness or your awareness move at the same way as the body, right? Or you can say mind moves body. We understand it, but it doesn't happen always that well. So for example, if you're coming, lucky you. So if you lift up your hand and just keep it like that, you see there was no mind here. It's just an empty body that's moving, right? Right. So if you keep it down again, just a normal, and you feel your arm. In a way, you can all do it while I'm saying it. You feel your body, like the space where the body is. You just feel that area, right? So you feel this space here, and from this feeling you're moving. So I don't say your arm goes up, but this feeling goes here into this area. If you do that, and if I move this, no movement at all, it's really strong. But you didn't think about keeping. No. Because it was just your feeling was moving, your awareness, your consciousness, or whatever you feel. But all those words doesn't mean so much because it's a concept. So maybe it's better to have just feeling. So the feeling is doing these exercises, right? It's not the body. Of course, it was. Otherwise, so that's basically it. If you move, so this is quite empty. It looks like it, but it's empty. If you move this feeling of your whole body, everything is just moving together. Right? So what I just did with you, please do it together. So you just lift up your arm. Just give ask the person to lift up your arm. When you do it, it's already more empty. Yeah? Right? And then you go to this feeling and move the feeling. Right? And then see what's happening when you test it. Yeah? So I hope that this experience what it does when you use feeling, right? You don't think about it when you think it's not feeling. So now we do the feeling of all the exercises. Here we go. Sounds a lot of thinking mind was happening. Yeah. Thinking mind is a bit, feeling is feeling. So feeling is complete. It's like same with martial arts we're practicing, right? When you see everything, just when you do it now, your eyes just relax and you see everything, your whole periphery. Naturally, it just falls in a way. It falls in the things you see. You don't have to actively look everywhere in parts. But when everything falls in, when you see it, when you just perceive it, then there's no space for thinking mind. And maybe you noticed, it's really hard to think about things and perceive like this at the same time. So maybe if we do just a few seconds, just this perceiving, that means the eyes don't look, they see everything. When I do this, you don't watch my hand, look at my hands, but still you see if something is moving. Pay attention to if there are thoughts coming or not. So when you have this whole perceiving, this seeing everything, are there thoughts coming? at the same time. No thoughts, no words anymore. Okay. We're done for today.
Some do, but it's like I'm not attaching to it.
Exactly. So they come up, right? You see everything, and then something comes up, and then it's kind of a decision: do I allow it to continue, or do I just keep on perceiving? Right? If you really look closely, it's I don't know if it's the word sequential. It's or this or that. If a programmer, 0, 1. So that's it. So if you just are aware of that, then this whole thinking about things, then there's not so much space, because I'm just really focusing on feeling. Can you follow me so far? So it's important to see. So when you're perceiving whole, everything, then there's no space for the thinking mind. Right? But it tries to come up. It's like a little puppy, I sometimes say. It's like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? Now I think this. Oh, now I think that. And for a moment it thinks about something, then it jumps to something else, like a puppy. Doesn't stay all the time at the same place. It's like, oh, this, oh, that. That's just mind. It's okay, right? Now we're playing with this feeling, so it runs around, but it's not really bothering or interfering too much.
I have a question. It's easier to have no thoughts when you understand the move or the technique, but when you're learning, the thinking mind, I feel, it kind of interferes, but you need to learn.
It's very important.
And I'm here learning this weekend,
Yeah.
and I will be thinking sometimes, trying not to think.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice?
Yeah, good. You say many things in a few sentences, but no, that's good, but it's spot on, that's how it is. So first, when you learn something, try to really understand it. Your thinking mind has to be really clear about what we're doing. So normally when I'm learning, and I remember also when I was with Sensei, I always go to Sensei when it's not clear. What do you mean? So, of course we have to steal in a way, right? Don't ask anything, just perceive and feel, and that's how the most transmission is happening. But sometimes when he's in the right mindset and you feel it's the right time, then I also ask him, and then he's really specific about things. So that always helped me during my learning, and I'm still learning. Now I just question myself and my students like I'm doing with you now. So that's one thing. So this thinking mind, it needs to be clear about what it's doing. So if we do lizard leg, then what is exactly this? Oh yeah, okay. All these things. So I think that's important. Another thing you said, now you're thinking but trying not to think. Right? This practice of, and I was just about to ask everybody, so it's a good connection. For example, we were looking like this, seeing everything, and it's really effortless. There's almost no action or no I don't know, tension or effort or anything to start it. But in the beginning, when it's not clear, there's a lot of effort. Because what am I going to do? Oh, I have to look for everything. Oh, really? My eyes become tense, the muscles in my eyes, or even my mind becomes tense. I have to watch everything. It's important enough because I'm practicing it, everything. Yeah. Oh, thoughts come up, it's not good, everything. Right? And so much tension. Maybe you can see them in my energy, in my body. And then you think you're doing well because you're really trying it, right? And don't do it for me, because I don't think it's really going better, but I like anything you do anyway, so alright, but try to make it less and less. So there is some effort, but I cannot really describe it. Some kind of intuitive feeling like I'm activating it. And that's already too much mentioning it, too many words.
Effort to be effortless.
Yeah. That's still too much, right? That's a lot. But it's still, if you can say that, it's already narrowed down to the essence, that's good. But then it's way too much. When you found it, You just like a light switch. You're not thinking, oh, now I push and it goes down, and then it activates the currents behind it and click, and oh, there's light. You get a click, so and then that's it. Right? So the same for when we're just sitting and watching everything, perceiving everything. Maybe it's some kind of a decision, but not from here, but from here or from here. Decision, I'm doing this exercise. And I'm just staying in this exercise. Mind comes up, goes away, but then you say, okay, now the exercise is over, now we do something else. Was there someone when we were just practicing, trying with quite some effort to keep your eyes open and see everything? Was there some effort to do it? Can someone say anything like what you were experiencing then?
I can only say what's helped me is what something Sensei said a while ago, is to my eyes were still looking in the same direction from the back of my head. And it sort of stops, that helped me stop this, even a tiny movement forward with the neck, the tension, just everything sort of sinks into the natural position.
Nice,
That's helped me.
Nice. That's great. How with teachers, they say something or you pick something. I think everything is a teacher. So, but then you sit and you just get this information, some tip, and you use it. That's easy. Huh? Yeah, thanks senseis and life for teaching us so many things. Yeah, it's true. These eyes on the back. We had also the exercise. Okay, you have to exercise. I will not show it, but for example, if your eyes are here, right, not these, but here, so your eyes are not here, which will look funny, but it's under your hair anyway. So, and then you look up. So now you look up with your eyes. This do it. Some people go. This is difficult, right? We're used to that our eyes are here. So you're looking up, you're looking down, right? Looking this way and this way. There was some exercise. I remember what you're saying. It's fun to get this memory. It takes you away from this. So that, and some effort. More really be honest with yourself, because the fastest way to learn is when you notice that you're doing something, right? And especially when it's kind of wrong, kind of too much. It's good to see it. Because, for example, if you do it and it goes quite well, you think, oh, I can do it. But it's a bit difficult when you think you can do it. So it's always, every moment is new and you have to activate it. And it doesn't matter if you know it or not. There's really no use. All these things, yesterday we were talking, and you have some 10 grade or whatever, it really doesn't matter. It's in the moment if you do Aikido when it's activated, right? So if you know it's exercise or not, it's, I don't know, it's really helpful. The only helpful thing is that it's more easy to have this decision from here. I started. Yeah? Okay, so we are in this state. Now, it's a bit of a long talk, but okay, we will start moving soon. Because now it looks like I only touched one subject, and I have quite a few about body and about connection and then doing Aikido. So now maybe something starts inside of you, maybe it's already active quite for some time, you're studying it. Okay, my eyes have to be, I see everything, right? I have to practice with martial eyes. So you're doing some technique and you say, oh, martial eyes, and then I do it. Does someone notice that idea? Like you have a tip? One person is honest and connected to yourself. Two, yeah.
Basically, every time you are taking in something new, that's the top of your mind all the time.
Exactly.
And that means that everything else is not top of your mind.
Yeah.
And if it's not, as Jake mentioned before, part of your natural movement, then you are showing in yourself improvement points.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So basically, the last thing you heard is always on top of your mind.
What did you say? No, okay. Top of my mind. Last thing I heard. But that's true, yeah. So everything is balanced, but something is more active, so the rest is less. So it's not balanced. Your technique is just, you emphasize on something which makes it not so natural. But it's good to progress, right? To really, I'm doing this concept, I practice for some time. Okay, I've integrated it. It's important. important in a way. But I hope lots is integrated. So kind of be stimulating you this weekend. Let's not stick to those points too much. You can do it, but then it takes a bit longer. So if you just forget everything I'm saying, that goes quite fast because you already understood, right? And if your eyes are open now, then you're already doing it. You don't think about it, but you're already doing it. Or you're kind of laser focused to one point, or you're just open and it's switching all the time.
Are you?
Right? So it happens naturally. So don't go. Okay, we do Aikido now. I watch everything, and then, oh yeah. It happens naturally anyway. And I will go more into more things like that. How it's happening naturally. So this feeling, and there's so many things, and I will show it. For example, like this, and you shift your weight, and you release, and then you have spiral movement, right? We will look into it later. This, spiral from down, spiral, yeah, spiral movement. Right? I'm trying to show you how much effort I put in, and it's great. It's good to research, but it's useless. It's really, in the end, it's no use. It's only like the training wheels. And as soon as you find a way to screw them off, and then please do it as soon as you can. So with the eyes, it's now. You just screw those things up. Yeah. So okay, now to continue with, maybe you can do it, with this feeling. So it's a little exercise. When someone is standing there, I just grab the arm, and first you do it a bit in a wrong way. So first I grab the arm, you just let it hang out. So grab, then I take out the slack, so it's more connected. And from there, I don't move him, I just walk backwards, right? So this is a familiar thing, but it's a 3-step thing I'm doing now. So here, it's hanging. First I have to do this, take out slack. You see, I'm not pulling, there's no strength, right? It's really soft feeling with both kind of balance. And then I don't do nothing, it's really soft. I just move myself. For example, if I turn, then he's moving, right? So this is, if you can do it, great, but then screw off the training wheels, right? Now, okay, I do it, just let it hang. So now, he will notice, if I go to someone on the street, I will touch him like this. He said, oh, this is something that happens, okay. Then I do like this, he's really like, what are you doing now? And then you start to move. So if 1 and 2 do it together. So if I touch, I do like this, right? So it's one movement. It's for him to process everything, but we're already connected. So when I move, but he never had the experience that I'm totally taking over everything. Right? He just feels like, oh, that's a comfortable feeling. Right? So I don't do like this. Right? So yeah, I saw my ducking also. So here, I'm standing this, and now it's already done. This is the whole technique. When I touch someone, when I'm uke, or when I'm nake, when someone touches me, this already happened. And now I just move myself, and then something is happening with the other one, right? Remember the last seminar, everything is in this exercise. Is it clear? Can you do it like that? Went quite well. I felt it with a few people, so that's good. A few things I noticed. Sometimes there's some muscle activity. It's too much. It's not necessary. It happened with quite a few people, and even some are really relaxed. But then still there's a little muscle activity. Some are a bit more muscular. The way you're sitting now, there's muscle activity to sit, to keep your skeleton, your bones in this structure, right? And that's enough. But of course, it depends on deformations in your body and whatever happens in your life or the way you used to move at this moment. Maybe there's a bit too much muscle activity, but still it's quite balanced at this moment, right? Even with your deformations, this is enough. But then we start to lift up our arm, and then all of a sudden extra muscles become active. Right? And especially when we do Aikido, then, oh yeah, too much muscle activity, my mind gets stiff, gets tense, and then, yeah, we're gonna do something. but it's just use as little muscle as needed. Because this feeling, when you moved your arm with feeling, how much muscle did you feel when you were doing that? Nothing almost, right? It feels like nothing. And you remember those moments, oh, it felt like we were doing nothing. Oh, I felt I was doing nothing. Yeah, but you were really strong and it was really good technique. Right? So it's not about the muscle. Of course you need it. If I don't have muscle, I'll be like this. Right? So I need some muscle activity to stand like this. I don't need this to stand up. Right? Only when you're young and you're not so secure and not so confident, then you need to compensate it. Like I'm quite strong. And Rowan, my son, is 4. He knows everything now, so he's really compensating for how little he knows, but he knows everything. And he tells us how much he knows, and we don't know it. But it's good to get this confidence. But at the moment, you're okay that you don't know anymore. So maybe when you get around this age, we don't mind if we don't know. We just learn. Right? We have a lot of experience with. Yeah. So same with muscle. So if you're now still walking like this, of course, I'm not a farmer, so when we were farmers like many years ago, we had really strong bodies. I mainly work with this and with this. So if a farmer holds me or whatever, he's much stronger, right? Or a gardener probably, much stronger or lifting stone. So it's different per person, but just don't use too much muscle. So, for example, when you're sitting now, your elbows are just relaxed and hanging down. It's just gravity pulling on it. So when you lift up your arm, do it for a moment. And still your elbow can hang down. If you support this, your elbow can hang down. It's really straight down. Right? So in Aikido sometimes you say, yeah, it's straight movement, it's up and down. But it's not like we try to go up and down, it's natural. When I go here, it just falls down. Right? You don't use muscle for that. When your sword moves, right? But it takes some practice. So now you were holding, taking up slack, you were soft. And from there, what was moving when you have this connection, this slackness is gone. And then what was moving to move the other one? What did you move in yourself? Center. Nothing. Whole body. Everything. Hips. Wow, many different things, huh? Similar different things. And it's all possible. I can even move my hand, for example. That's what he will expect, because I'm holding his wrist, so he will expect to be moved at this point. I can move my elbow, for example, if I show it. So if I'm holding him, and the slackness gone, I can move the hand, I can move my elbow, I can move my shoulder, I can move my hip, I can move anything, I can move my ankle, right? But it's a little bit, when you're looking at everything or just a part, best thing is to move everything, which I heard, but also from the feet. So if I have this connection and I only rotate here, see how much movement is happening there. Only I shift my weight to this foot, I rotate in, and then I let go the other side. See how much movement is happening, and I'm basically just moving my feet. Right? The feet, like I was saying, the feet is the movement of the universe, and the hand is of the mind. But in Aikido, yeah, right here, hand is moving on this hand, and then we go there. He is laughing, but he's not happy, right? So if I have this take up slack and I just move from my feet, right? It's a bit different, right? Yeah, it's a big difference, yeah. So when I'm holding him, it's just the feet moving. I also remember the hip or the tanden or one point or whatever you call it, this area, and then move from here. And I did it for a long time, but I'm not sure about it anymore. Of course, this is moving like a Jotanen, Chutanen, and Gaitanen, and this whole structure is moving. But the feet are so important, shifting weight, rotating feet, and then let it go. I think then the whole axis is moving and quite relaxed. Right? So you can do it now when you stand up in a minute, take out this leg, and then move only from the feet. And even if you just shift weight, you put your foot like this, and then you shift weight. Right? Then already enough is happening. And don't try to copy exactly this movement. And how did you do? And how many centimeters was your foot like this? Then I'll show you really in detail. And for months you're looking, how exactly there? No, it was there. I saw it.
And your arms like this.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That doesn't matter. So we're just shifting weight and rotating feet, and then from there see what happens in this interaction. Yeah. Well, let's see. Now we have got some things. We have relaxation. This is really important. Relaxation. We looked at connection with self, right? With your body and your own mind, your awareness, your being alive. Right? We had relaxation, and we had I move from the feet. Okay. Now the funny thing comes. We do a Tatadori. The Tatadori thing comes. So now it's all active. I was relaxed, I was completely connected, and I used the feet. Now you. Use some space. So we were doing these things I was just saying, right? Did it go well?
No sensei.
Okay, but more. What did you notice then?
Everything.
That's also a lot. But for the thinking mind, for my thinking mind, which part did you notice?
Moving around was difficult for me.
And what was difficult?
Feeling like I wasn't pulling.
Pulling. Muscle activity?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and the connection was different?
Yes.
Oh yeah, good. It's honest review. But I'm same as you, I'm just researching this whole stuff, so it's not like, no, I was not so good at me neither, so alright, but we're looking into it, we're trying to develop ourselves. So for example, if you stand a little bit like this, and your hands go up, this doesn't take much effort. Still your elbows hang. It's not like this. Right? And like this. Maybe down if you like here. It's a triangle. Right? So what I'm doing with my fingertips, I touch here. And it's not I do my hand like there and I touch there. Right? No, I keep my posture, so this is where I can touch. So this is the right angle. This is too little, this is too much here. It's about 45 degrees. Right? And your elbows are hanging softly. Your hands are up, not like this. Up, and then you go up like this here. And now you feel your elbows are more here, right? Not here. To the side. Again, here. Yeah. So again, so you're here, you're going down a little bit. And we go up. How much? So 45 degrees. And just soft. The weight is here in your center, is on your feet. Who was carrying the weight with your shoulder or with your muscles in your back? Right? The next step, don't do it. Just let it sink down into the ground. Oh. Or sensei with the tree. Right? You know this photo is really nice. Still relax. And now you step to the side. It's, in a way, you just shift your weight and don't move your tongue up and down. So you shift your weight to this side, so you can move this foot a little bit further. You shift your weight to that side and then you relax. The hand is here. Relax. So here. Shift your weight and shift it to the other side. That's what you were doing. Now I was watching all kinds of exotic movements, which is nice. Many styles. I think we can go to the down, I'm up, and I'm shifting weight, and it drops down. That's all. I don't think about him because the connection is already there. I saw many examples. This one, for example, if you stay a little bit. That's strange. Where does this pushing come from? Where did it come? Because we were like this. So where did it start to feel like this? What happened in the process?
Wow.
I know many answers, but the only answer is, okay, it's not necessary. So it's already done here. We're not fighting anymore. He's attacking me. He gives me energy to my center line. Now he does. He was pulling on me. But he's young. He likes to be on the couch. Oh, it's active.
Game
Oh,
changer.
me too. So I go forward. I give you energy. I'm not leaning into you. I'm not holding back. Oh, you move me. See how you can move me. That's not my attack. How can I learn? Can I do mesogi? How can I be purified? I need it because I think I will resist. You try to move me, try. You cannot do it. See, my ego is stronger than yours. Right? Oh no, you think, no, I'm solid and you don't do correctly or whatever you think, quite positive in your mind. But it's useless. Connecting. So you connect. But here it's already done. Never, this is going to change. This is Kimosugi. So here, I rotate my feet, go down, and literally I'm doing what I just did. Shift the weight and drop the weight. That's it. And this is only one small part of the exercise, but do this everywhere, I think. So I wonder, what did you notice? I said many different things, but what did you notice when you were moving? What transformed or what caught your eye?
I think one thing I noticed is how fast you can go into your habits when you empty your mind.
Did you recognize one of your habits? What came up?
Yeah, this. We talked about this.
What
Okay, I do like this. Nico and I did it as well. So basically, when you go on the around, you go like this, and then you go
Yeah.
like this.
Good. What did you change after that then?
Focus on my structure like this.
And then how does it look when you continue this movement? Like this? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I saw that with many people, so it's a good point. And there's different options, like going this way, which means this is gone, this triangle is gone.
Yeah.
But another thing is when we're doing that, so now it's a good distance. Now it's a good distance if we're standing like this. But if I do like this, hopefully I'm faster, but he's really in a best
Very
position.
close.
Because I pull him in and he just continues with his other hand. And I pull his feet towards me. Yeah. That's good. Another thing I saw up here. Yeah, you start from the beginning again because you let go. Right? It's the same like I'm holding the hand from here. So, oh, that's good. Okay, here we go. Right? I saw that happen a lot. And it was habits. It was just your organism is programmed to something. So, I remember many years ago we started with the camera, and I looked a lot at myself, looking back, to really observe myself. When I started Aikido, we didn't have cameras or internet with all these things that many of you probably recognize. So it was kind of fun in a way, because you had no idea what was happening outside in the world. You were just doing your Aikido, and it was fun. And you thought you were doing quite well, good feeling, but you had no clue. You knew you were not doing what you think you were doing, but you had no feedback. So since we have a camera, my students also used to it, like, oh yeah, I think I was doing it, but not yet. And then they grow really fast because they get this feedback. First you go through, oh, I look strange or whatever. When you go through that, hopefully not too long, then you can see, oh yeah, and then you change it. It goes quite fast. So we'll keep it stuck. So when you're here, here. And so many things. It's a hanging elbow. It's the elbow is connected to the lower rib. So you're not getting this position, or it's not going like this. So that's also happen. It comes too close. Right? Or it becomes really small all of a sudden, or it becomes one arm. Right? One arm banded. All of a sudden it's a one arm technique. What happened? Which is possible, because if he's coming, right? It's possible, but if you just know the basics, make sure that you really have this really stable in your structure, then start to do funny things. Right? Then you can, if he comes and I can just do this, right? It's possible to go like that. But if it's not with a foundation of you know exactly what you're doing, then it's a really small space or small, but you're not doing it well, that it's not going correctly. Stiff here, this is weak, so it's all basic, and that's why it's maybe a bit boring, but we started with Kotai, and if you do this really strongly and really your thinking mind knows exactly what you're doing, it's really stiff at the moment. Something like that. Everything's here. So it's my weights on my back leg, I rotate my hip, make my back foot things empty. All these small things. Down, structure is there. He's quite close, so for him, keep more space, but it's up to him. Now he's really pushing me. Right? Where did that come from? Because he's not here. Right? So just relax, and that's really strong. Yeah, that's strong. And then I shift my weight. Feeling, you have the feeling with me. Also, some people do this, but it's just dropping down. It's gravity that's falling, not like this. So, but when you go really fast, you're like, oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah. But I look at it and say, okay, it's fun when you really run fast, but maybe first start to learn how to run, right? But of course you're advanced, so I know you're good. You don't need it anymore. But it's difficult to be in this learning mode, because that's a beginner's mind. I say this now to you, oh yeah, that's it. Oh, he does it so well. I have no clue. Every moment I have to practice. Every interaction with him, I try to activate it. And if I forget it, or if I think I'm a teacher, or it's no use. Right? Every moment I have to activate it and work with all these principles of nature, or the basic principles of our sensei. And that's the only thing. And I will never figure it out, but just go back to have a clear mind about all these concepts, and lots of practice in your body, and that's all. Right? So it's a good example. You go on your habits, and it's just really synapses firing, and your body is used to that. And if you always used to walk like this, then it's really difficult to do like this. But it's a practice. We're just polishing ourselves, try to get in another, become another human being. So yeah, that's, for example, what you noticed. And something else, what did you notice when you move together in this exercise?
A lot of
lot of unlearning. Also habits, things. Nobody noticed anything. I know there are many things everybody,
There's a point of connection, but it moves somewhere else.
He's proud he said that, but that's a good sentence.
Yeah.
Can you say a bit more about that? This connection here, but it moves somewhere else.
Yeah, you're connected here, but the action is not here. It appears in your feet and in your center.
Yeah.
If done well, instead of pulling and tearing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not pushing and pulling here.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's kimasubi, it's always same feeling. That's why we could do it good ukami. That's why I could do it like this, because we were really connected. Otherwise you do things like that, yeah. Okay. That's a lot in it. If you continue to something else, because at the end of the movement, I noticed with a few people, well, okay, this was a bit better, but not always. Keep your awareness, because it seems like some were playing sports or a game. Like the game was, I throw you. I make sure you call it a point. And then he goes, yes, I did the game. Here. Oh yeah, yes, I did it. So, and it's nice if you want to do Aikido as a sport, as a game, as a kind of competition, or then it's okay. But make sure that you are aware of that. But what is your goal of doing this? Is your goal to, okay, we go together? It's a happy feeling. My technique is quite good. But what is the reason? Why are we doing this? Are we boxing in a way? Like, yeah, knockout. Yeah. That's good. Oh, it sounds great. What are we doing? Why are we?
Can I react on that? So this good point. I sense my ego at the final stage of the exercise. That's exactly what you are showcasing here.
And what did you notice with the ego part at the end?
Well, I lose connection at the end of the exercise at this point. I also feel that I'm a little bit out of balance sometimes because I won the game, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I will go into that, that's true. There are going to be quite a few, like off balance.
Yeah.
Not in the middle third anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that ego game.
Yeah.
But what was the reason? What was Aikido, or what was it about?
So basically, you're allowing your opponent to have misogi. So if you just leave him, he's never gonna rise.
Also, the misogi part, yeah.
So
It's really difficult to understand. That's why there's a whole international discussion about Aikido. Oh, it's not martial in MMA in a cage, then it will not work. And yeah, of course, there's some martial thing, and which is really important to understand and to be able to perform. But it's not the reason. It evolved in a way. So is it a dance? No, it's not a dance. Is it? In Japan, they will say, hey, do you play Aikido? In the first years when I heard, it's like, that's strange, do you play Aikido? It's not like playing, but it's not like, are you sporting or something? It's, I don't know. It's art at some point. It's an art. Yeah, it's also true. But there is it is to develop as a human being. That's what it's about, I think. And of course, you will develop also when I punch you, you go knockout. You think, oh, I need better defense or whatever, be train or be faster or whatever.
Fight again.
But that's also improvement as a human being, right? For the ones who got attacked when they're younger or not, then it's better to improve your guard or whatever, be more confident, or your structure is stronger. If it's like this, it's soft, then I need to be stronger. Okay, but here we have a more fine part, really close to what's the essence of a human being, right? Being alive, that's the beginning and the end, like you're saying. But before you know it, you're not just being alive, you're fighting. Like, you eat me or I eat you, right? Or I run away or I freeze. and we want to go over it. From heart to heart, we make a connection. If we do this like offer, from heart to heart is connection. Now you're a little bit here, but from your heart, from your being, your core of your being. One, we came into the dojo because we like it. It's voluntary. We don't have no reason to become stronger. We just enjoy it. And then we're here connected as two human beings. I offer it, you hold it, and this connection is important to us. So when we're doing this here, still this connection is important. Right? Here, here. Now I feel something changing. You feel like, oh, I'm the side that's falling down, and you're preparing more. Open, just open, just as much as me. Just as much as I am. And then together we go here. And then it comes up. And this is what we're doing. And it's not so easy. So focus all your attention on doing this. So this fighting, this not connecting, just leave it. It's not helping. We had a bit of a talk, right? Because sometimes you want to show something when, oh, it's soft, you're up, and I hold it a bit more and you come, oh, he's not stable enough, he cannot push me. Then I think I'm helping, but it's just blocking this growth. Just when you hold me, like Kosadori, we want to go in feeling, or Munatsuki, together. We want to go in feeling. Show man. This is the feeling we are doing together, and there's lots of martial things in it, but this is where we want to go to, right? So, yeah. So I don't know how you get it for yourself. I have said many examples, but just find it in yourself, to find your Aikido, and you do it. Like, I feel that's Aikido. Yeah. It's not becoming one. It's not to become one. It's you are one. Right? I don't have to overcome all these differences. This ego. I don't have to overcome you and me. When you come, it's already, you're not something else. You're complete. Yeah. Yes. If you feel you're kind of in an underdog, like a slave, each time that I'm helping, it's not necessary. I did it too. For example, when you throw simple nada, you throw in simple nada, and I'm really like, oh yeah, whoa. I do too much. It's not necessary. When he does simple nada, it's just gravity. I'm getting up and I'm connected to him. Yeah? So it doesn't help to be like. I'm in a theater, right? It's not needed. So if you come down to the, you're not in a theater. Just stand normal, relax. Yeah. Maybe you try it for some time. Just be normal. I see how much effort you do and how much you're doing Aikido, so I'm really happy to see it. And I'm looking forward to continue because I see some things I really want to share. And let's have some nice lunch. Arigatou. 1:30 we start again.